I was very aware of my slurping. So in other words, listen to this. Every once in a while, somebody will say, Wallace slurping that coffee. It's the little things that aggravate the shit out of people. I had a best friend, and he would smack his food, and I wanted to smack him. But I loved him so much that I let it go. My mom got me this T-shirt that said, I have so many wonderful qualities that it's easy to overlook my few disgusting habits. So that's the way I have friends. I'm like, this guy's really nice, but he does this one thing that aggravates me, and I just deal with it because it's hard to have somebody as perfect as me. I'm awesome, and I probably don't do anything wrong. So as far as my slurping, I really don't slurp at all. I guess the microphone is so good in this phone, the coffee's very hot. Coffee's very hot. I guess I just kind of like this, Okay. Today, why am I such a smart ass at times? Dale Jr. and Amy, they started that show called Bless Your Heart. H-A-R-D-T. Bless Your Heart. And what we learned was they both got to tell the truth about somebody. And Dale Jr. says, well, I enjoy being a smart ass. She goes, yeah, but you're a smart ass at the wrong time sometimes. It's really good because I think actually they wouldn't say something over the microphone. And so she whispered it to him and he laughed and he said, you asshole. He called Amy an asshole because she got some tomboy in her. Amy Earnhardt's over there on Kenny Conversation, and she's a good cheerleader. She's got it together, but I think that Bless Your Heart over there on Dirty Mo Media, I think that it's going to be good. At least the first one was. So, all right, everybody. Today I just love poking fun at Larry McReynolds. I love him. He's one of my best friends. But today we're going to talk about the NASCAR Hall of Fame. All right. We got old Rooster. Rooster's in the Hall of Fame. Does anybody know who Rooster is? He gets pissed and he starts going like this. And that's where he got his nickname from. I'll tell you one thing, Wallace. You run over me like that again here at Dover, I'll kick you. Rooster. Ricky Rudd. Ricky Rudd. And then the next one is Carl Edwards. Listen, I am not mean, but I'm going to tell you what a weird guy. Holy crap. Love him to death. Got his phone number. He'll text me right away. We both from Missouri. But this guy, man, he is different. Good thing he can drive a race car. It's a good thing Carl Edwards can drive a race. You ever notice that about people? When people are really different, but they're good at something, it's like, So like, if a guy is a good baseball player and he's making $22 million a year, but he's really different, it's like you get a pass, right? That's Carl. I love Carl to death, but boy, he is different. He's on his own island. But I like weird people. Carl Edwards is weird, but a good weird. So I'm going to go through them all here in a little bit. And then the other one is Moody. I think from the old Holman Moody days. Holman Moody, they were Ford. And back in the day, you know how some of you people, you just don't like these big teams? You haven't seen big teams. In the creation of NASCAR, you had Holman Moody. And so one of the Moody's is, I guess it's the Moody. I didn't do no studying for Coffee with Kenny, so I don't study for Coffee with Kenny. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about until I got up and I was watching Fox News and I thought, oh, Hall of Fame. So the inductions are, of course, Rooster, Ricky Rudd, and of course, Carl Edwards, and then Moody. What was it, John Moody? Fill in right here. I think you should like it that you can play along with me, help me. I don't know that. But Holman Moody was, they fielded team cars. You were a factory driver, I believe, for Ford. Factory driver, and they were located over by the Charlotte Douglas Airport in Charlotte. So I lived in Charlotte for 27 years, and I heard a lot of stories about Holman Moody, how incredible they were and what great drivers drove for them. So, but yeah, let's talk about all three of them a little bit. Well, we'll talk about two of them. Let's go with Carl Edwards first. So I did like a 12-minute take that lives on the Kenny Wallace YouTube show. It has our biggest view ever. It is closing in on 1 million views. It's like at 900 and something thousand views. And I gave my take on why Carl Edwards quit NASCAR. To this day, I still feel the same until Carl tells us all. But this guy could be a card player. Carl Edwards could play cards. He holds the cards up his sleeve, and he is not going to tell nobody why he just immediately quit NASCAR. However, it seems he's come to peace with it now. And all the drivers are showing him respect. Of course, you know, you got Kyle Larson out there saying, man, I'll tell you what, when I run the Indy 500 and I want somebody testing my car, it's going to be Carl Edwards. So that's really nice. But to this day, I still think Carl Edwards left NASCAR with a broken heart. I really do. I think that, he had a couple championships won. You had the fake caution, which we all know about. We all talked about. It's a very controversial subject. It was an article written by Jordan Bianchi, and it was Jordan Bianchi, not me. So it just stated what it stated. I'm not going to rehash. When you saw me thinking for a little bit, I was thinking, do I want to bring this up again? How does it benefit me? But I believe Carl Edwards, I'm not going to bring it up, actually. You can go to Kenny Wallace YouTube show, and I say it all there. I don't want NASCAR to get pissed at me. I said it once, so I won't say it no more. There's an incredible article by Jordan Bianchi wrote about, when Carl quit, and it was Toyota. It was Toyota, so... But anyway, I believe Carl quit of a broken heart. He had 2 championships won, and he didn't get them. And then he banged his head really hard, and every once in a while he'll give a piece of information. So let's see if when Carl gets inducted in the Hall of Fame and he gets up on there, is he going to say it? Is he going to say exactly why? But right now he's pretty much got us all trained to just go, okay, he just quit. But I think Carl quit NASCAR because of a broken heart. He lost both those championships, and then he hit that wall a ton. I was going to say a ton, but I don't want Charlie to beat this out on YouTube. See, I can cuss here on social media, but I can't cuss over there on YouTube. But Carl hit that wall so hard, I think it made him go, oh my God. So, but I just think things went bad. And he said, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I got $100, $200 million. Carl quit right before the NASCAR salaries went down. So he's in tall cotton. Yes, he is. Hey, listen, can you all watch your mouth, please? I mean, do you got to do this with using profanity all the time? That's me imitating some of you. Oh, come on. I don't cuss all the time, but when I do cuss, it's good. I put it all in the right place. Okay, so Carl Edwards going to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Then let's talk about old Rooster, Ricky Rudd. What I remember, listen, in 1984, I was a Cup crew chief for Joe Ruttman in the Levi Garrett car. And what I remember about Rooster was, number one, he was always very nice to me. And to this day, he's still very nice to me. but his face was solid red all the time. And Buddy, when he was mad, he'd do that old neck. So he got the nickname Rooster. Great race car driver. When Ricky Rudd got hurt driving for Robert Yates, they put me in the car for a couple races. Now listen, I have a great relationship with Robert Yates Racing. We lost Robert, but Doug's still living. Maybe I should reach out to them a little bit, but I'm in St. Louis having the time of my life, and I've moved on. But 2 times when a driver got hurt over there at Robert Yates Racing, they called me. When Ernie got hurt, I drove the car. And when Rooster got hurt, Ricky Rudd, when he got hurt, they called me. And I drove the car, and Ricky paid me a compliment, and that made me like him, right? He said, I didn't think you would do as good as you did when you got in my car. Because at that time, they weren't running that great. And I pedaled it as hard as I could. But so shout out to Ricky Rudd for talking nice to me. That was very nice. And then Moody, we already talked about them. All very worthy people. So congratulations to everybody in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And just a shout out the end here to Amber Wells at the NASCAR alumni. NASCAR still likes me, everybody. I haven't pissed them off yet. I mean, I'm sure I have, but we all do. The NASCAR alumni has sent me a hard card. Thank you so much. I can go anywhere and do anything I want, and I'm very, very humbled. I'm not used to that. I'm very humbled. Thank you so much to Amber Wells, Mike Helton, and Jim France. It was Mike Helton and Jim France's idea to start the NASCAR alumni. And then Amber, on her own, said, Kenny, we love you racing that dirt car. We're going to make a newsletter. NASCAR is going to make a NASCAR alumni newsletter, and they're going to follow up and follow my dirt racing. And I got 2 NASCAR alumni decals on my dirt car. And actually, I talked to Nick Hoffman and Daryl Hoffman and Rhonda Hoffman last night, and the race was over. By the way, we finished second last night, so that was nice. All right, everybody, I think that was a good little talk. I gave you my opinion on all the NASCAR Hall of Famers and shed a little inside light about them, so I hope you like that. And Groundhog Day is about over. Billy Smith was just texting me just then, so I'll call him back. Billy's a dear friend of mine. Helped me with a lot of dirt wins. So whenever I'm doing Coffee with Kenny and you see my head turned sideways, that means somebody is texting me. I'm going to go to lunch today with Jennifer and Richard Marshall and Tim Clausen, Brian Clausen's dad. So it's going to be a good day. But Groundhog Day, Groundhog Week is about over. We qualify tonight for the Gator. And then tomorrow night, Saturday night, is our last night. And I am flying home Sunday. And I miss Kim. I miss my wife. All right, everybody. Have a great Friday.